G'day guys, I'm Tucker.
I'm Will.
And welcome to Single Cup of Happiness channel.
Alright.
Hey, where are we today?
Alright, today we've come to Waterloo. We're visiting a cafe. We've been here before, it's called +2. We've been here a couple times, together, apart sometimes.
If you follow Instagram.
Yes, follow Instagram. We had a post from here a little while ago, but we're back.
I think it was a little bit more warmer back then.
It was warmer, yeah. Today is, it's actually spring again in Sydney as we're filming this, but today it was raining earlier. It's a bit cold right now. Yesterday it was 29 degrees.
Oh, yes.
Oh my god, so away with the cafe.
A massive difference from yesterday. Oh yeah, you were working, eh?
You weren't?
No, I'm a day off.
Today it's both our days off. Awesome.
That's why we're
filming.
Out and about filming.
Yep.
You know, it's great to be out and filming, tackling, you know, cafes. Obviously, because of the situation that we had to go, or everyone had to go through, right? Guys who's been following us, obviously you guys have noticed we've been posting videos from pre-pandemic.
Yeah, right.
And so we haven't been able to, you know, obviously go out and about as much as we used to and do a filming session, like a showcase. You know, something that we enjoyed doing was, you know, obviously restricted. So it's really exciting to be back in front of the camera, visiting these amazing places, trying out amazing coffees, amazing, you know, things that these places offer.
Yeah. It's kind of like, for me, I think it's like the world, like as we get used to these restrictions and the effects of having to deal with this stuff, life goes on. Like we still need to go out and do things. People still have businesses to run, coffee still exists, people still go out and get coffee every day. And yeah, we still want to create content. So get out there and share our experiences.
Definitely.
Alright, so why did we come today? Why did we come to +2 today? You should probably be asking me that. Alright.
Yes.
Because I heard about these guys I don't even remember where I heard about it. Tony, who's the owner of this cafe, right? But he's a runner-up in the Northern Region barista competition. And for me, coming here, it's like, you get a chance to taste this guy's coffee that got you in second place. What is this coffee? Instead of how is it different to the coffee I have every day? That's kind of what gets me excited. Here's a chance to actually share that experience that the judges have when he makes coffee for them at competition. So what is the difference, you know?
The competition level
is better. Why is it better? How's it different? That's kind of exciting.
A lot of our viewers have the same question as well. There is a ranking coffee? There's a quality difference? So what makes these quality differences? I think as a barista as well, we tend to sometimes forget about different quality levels. How's the quality being determined? I reckon those are the kind of questions that, you know, as a coffee enthusiast face, I think. And obviously depending on, what do you say?
Alright guys.
Hey.
So Ethiopia Oppo. So carbon maceration, you guys very familiar with?
I know.
First step. Finish 196. So very juicy, white acidity. First experience cherry. Really good. Or raspberry, berry, and choose the tropicals like mango, and last orange. It's really good. That's a pretty good. It tastes like Asia. It's really good. It's really good. It's really good. And that may be we can compare. That's like Asia. Enjoy, guys. Thank you so much.
Tropical is like my favorite. I don't know what's my favorite. Tropical sort of flavors, but I do get excited eating coffee. Cherry's good too.
Berry to tropical.
Oh my god, we're jumping ahead of ourselves. So what you saw there just then is probably a bit of what a barista who's doing competition presents to the judges. And basically, they want to give a coffee to the judges and they want to amaze them. But they do it by telling them what to expect. Okay, so when you taste this, you're going to get cherry first, taste cherries, and then this sort of like as time goes on, temperature drops down a little bit. You're gonna start receiving those tropical flavors, and then a bit of like an orange version. It's those kinds of fruity flavors. If you can taste those in coffee, and it's a bit complex, so it changes in like these different layers of flavor. Those are the sorts of things that get baristas excited and get judges excited and get anyone excited about coffee, because that's to me is what coffee's about. And I guess baristas, ones that go into competition, they're the sorts of things that earn you points, basically. Like if you present that to the judges, you tell them what they're going to taste to that kind of degree, and then the judges do taste it, they'll be like, tick, tick, there's your points. And like whoever scores the highest points wins, right? So basically, like that's what sets this coffee apart. It's kind of like that clarity of flavor. Yeah, you can be like, yep, that is definitely cherry. And like, not everyone's image of what coffee is kind of like it's what we're talking about right now.
Definitely, definitely. Because I reckon when we think coffee, let's just stop the talking and try her. It's a beautiful coffee.
I don't know. Yuki, you're gonna have. What are you gonna do, man? You're gonna have to get your coffee. So you have to enjoy it at a certain time.
Yeah.
It's like ramen. You can't just like never sit there.
そうだね。
Like while you're taking videos and photos.
Our cameraman needs to drink,
Okay.
experience the coffee. What's the coffee saying? Drink me! Drink me!
We should do the voiceover when you're filming when you're editing it. Some little subtitles. Oh, that'd be awesome. I absolutely did cherry.
Cherry.
Yeah. For me, it's funny. Like cherries, I think like the cough medicine flavor. Like that, they always describe that as cherry. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but like for me, when I did cherry, I kind of like connected with that memory in my mind. So I'm like, oh, that's definitely cherry.
See, in Australia, right? Cherry seasons are associated with December, right? Like leading into Christmas,
yeah,
you walk into supermarket, you see boxes of cherries stacked up, and literally you walk in, you see it, it's telling you to buy. And I reckon it's the best season for cherries as well. It's the most ripe. It's like that. When you bite into that ripe cherry and feel that season is there, right? It's that kind of like juicy, full-body cherry.
To me, it's like, this is what I like about coffee. This to me is what coffee is. Coffee is like so many different flavors, and this end of the spectrum, the fruitiness of it is what I love about coffee. Like at the other end of the spectrum, maybe you kind of have like nutty kind of stuff.
A little bit more like, body forward.
Yeah, those sorts of things. But like Tony said to us, this one's for the Ethiopian. Like that to me is what coffee is. Like mostly enjoyed as a black coffee, as a filter coffee. Because that's when you can kind of really receive these flavors. Usually if you're going to put like in milk, it tends to sort of mute the flavors. And it's difficult to taste them. Coffee is just not that strong.
It's designed in a different way. Yeah.
So that's why I drink filter coffees, and it's kind of like that fruit is what gets me excited about it. So if your coffee has this really strong character, like that flavor, it's really well defined, and you give it to someone to drink, and they're like, oh, I do taste cherry. Like I do get like pineapples and mangoes. Then that gives you points, and that is what people pay money for. That's what makes a coffee better. And so like if you go back to like a stage in that in the coffee sort of production line, basically like at the farm level, when the farmer produces these coffees, and then when it gets milled and people are tasting it, they roast it, they put it on a coffee table, they taste it, and this is before the coffees go to auction. Right? Basically people they'll pay more, there'll be more demand for the coffees that just taste amazing.
Oh yes, of course.
Taste like this. And so the more demand there is, it'll go to an auction and like the people will bid the price up, and that's what makes coffee basically more expensive. And those are the coffees that people want to take to competition or to win. Basically, yeah. So like they're looking for amazing flavors that we see in the like fruit world.
Yeah,
So
like
with
flavors that actually come forward, jump out.
Yeah.
It's like
It doesn't have to
biting
be
into
fruit,
the
but it just needs to be.
It's like when you bite into fresh fruit and vegetables. When you know it's ripe, it's in season, then you know when you bite into it, you can taste that.
It's intense.
Yeah. Say like cherry, for instance. You know, Christmas season, you see, you know, boxes of cherries, but you know when you bite into it, you feel that cherry come through. I reckon it applies.
Here in the southern. Sure.
So same thing applies to coffee as well. It's like when that flavor jumps forward, comes straight to you, that's when you know it's a good quality coffee, higher grade.
So I think actually that's interesting. So we're drinking filter right now, but like I remember when I was competing in barista competition, it was an espresso competition. So basically, I got a coffee that tasted good as an espresso, but I also used the same coffee in my milk beverage course. So I made a flat white with that coffee. And so you get different tastes there. Taste kind of transforms with a milk with it. So the judges are looking for things like acidity, things like sweetness level, but they actually gave a lot of points or weighting towards textural components. So if you can explain what it feels like in your mouth, not what it tastes like, but sort of like not what flavors it is, but more texturally, does it taste heavy and is it a bit like more how smooth is it? Silky, aftertaste. Those sorts of things, like lingering, not sure, like, or maybe it's like the opposite of special flavors, like maybe breath. Just disappears, it's really clean sort of thing. If you could accurately describe those, and if it was pleasurable to the judges, again, more points. They really did weight those. Surprisingly to me, I don't put much personal weight towards those sorts of things, the textural components. Although I am coming to appreciate them more now. But me, I think it's more about the flavors.
I think
But
that's
those are the things, if you get those are really special, then that's sort of high level.
Well, as a general drinker, I reckon like flavor components like sweetness and acidity is something that we pick up first rather than textural component, which is you gotta have it thought through.
That's a good shot. Same process. How do you like the last one? Compared to this one. So that one's better than Asian. This is Asian. Morgan. So use a different cup. This is a special cup. So in the wall, emphasize the acidity. So people emphasize the body. Start with this one will be high, strawberry, colored and the lot as well as that. Try.
Thank you.
Alright, enjoy guys.
I forgot to take photos. That's alright, I'll take photos now. Oh, yours is... This is good. This is so good.
Drink me!
No, don't drink me. I'm Tuckers. Oh, I'm going back a second. Sorry, guys. It's just us. What do you reckon? It's different, right?
So different.
I love that it's different. Like, a lot of people might think, oh, coffee tastes like coffee. Same flavor. This is so different.
Especially when you have one after another of different coffee.
That's really useful to the actual website. Like, it's a bit more difficult to sort of compare two things sort of abstractly, like a week later.
If it's
next to each other.
apart.
Which is why, like, when people cup, right, they cup it like coffee, right? It's obvious. So Tony said that the first one that we had, Ethiopian CM process one, he reckons it was better than the geisha. And I'm like, well, that's a bold statement. But this is, he might be right, but this is pretty good too.
This is actually
tasty. I wanted to say this before, but like, or not before, but like, it was one of the things that we wanted to say. It was like, So, would you pay $12.50 for this drink every day? Is this your everyday drink?
Perfect world scenario.
Yeah.
If we disregard the price, it's something that, yes, I want to be able to drink on a regular occasion, right? It's that kind of experience,
It's enjoyable, it's great.
Yeah.
But it's not too, you don't feel guilty over drinking it. Like, obviously, like, you wouldn't necessarily want to eat Eggs Benedict every day. Because some people might say it's rich. But this you drink every day, right?
いただきます。
Everyone has to drink as well. Everyone has to drink.
Oh, this is so different.
Yeah, so disregarding the price, yeah. It's,
Money was no thing. You would enjoy this every day.
Yeah, definitely.
This it's kind of like, for me it's kind of funny. It's like, to me this is like, I wish every coffee was this good. And I think if it was, everyone out in the world would really appreciate coffee. They'd be like, wow. And I don't think every coffee is this good, unfortunately. Which is why it sort of costs a bit more.
I reckon, from my experience, these kind of like obvious flavor differences is something that I want to be able to deliver to the mass as well.
Yeah. Share it with them.
Yeah, so we can actually kind of introduce, you know, one world of coffee experience. But yeah, being able to taste these differences is, you know,
Well,
it's definitely one way.
rare to be able to get this experience in Sydney. Like, there's a ton of cafes in Sydney, but to get these two coffees side by side and to be able to compare, or just order even one of these coffees and have someone explain to you what sort of taste and have it to be delivered as well. Unfortunately, like, one of the challenges in coffee is actually, this is like the flavor descriptors on the coffee bag, but whether or not it gets delivered is a different challenge. Probably a topic for another day. I think that's an
Definitely,
interesting topic. Definitely.
Maybe
need to
in a
talk
future
about.
content, we can actually really talk about maybe if we can get samples or examples of the actual tasting note cards.
Yeah, right.
Comes with a single origin coffee, and yeah, we could definitely talk about it. So yeah, in a future content, we'll get back to that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but this side, it's always a good topic.
Yeah, cool. I'm sure we got that. Too much. Awesome. How about, shall we wrap up here?
It was a great day out and about.
Yeah. The weather held up. It's good.
At least it wasn't bucketing down rain.
Yeah. Like it has before.
It is
It's not too cold.
It is a kind of unstable season, I would say.
The good thing is it's always coffee, but so like it's raining, coffee.
Coffee.
It's hot.
cold. Coffee.
Yeah, it's cold.
Even if it's
coffee.
hot,
I still
still
this,
get it,
this
yeah.
is still what I want. So, all right.
Every day is a coffee day. Every weather is a coffee weather.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us. All right. Cool. We'll see you guys in the next video then.
See you at the next episode.